Going over the latest portfolio results for the end of April the 30th results. Let's look at each one as we go through the list. There's 8 total portfolios that we track now with 118 total strategies on a daily basis. And we end the month huge gains in the all 78 strategy access released November the 24th. You know that this went through a drawdown. It had a tough end to December and a slow start to the year, but a very strong comeback. Huge gains in April. Sticking with it, we saw increased volatility at higher levels, and so it went through greater levels of maximum drawdown, but it has come back in a big way, plus 79K in April. And this does require capital, minimum of $500,000 to trade a setup like this. So you should be willing to endure those drawdowns and start in a drawdown to trade a setup like this. All Strategy Access 51 is a short list we came up with from the list of 78, and it is up 16K in April, and just really strong portfolio. And then we have the short list 51 plus 7 new. So we added 7 new strategies. If you just wanted to go with a conservative approach of going with 51 of the best strategies going into the year, you would have gone with the 51 that we just went over. If you wanted to add 7 of the new strategies, this is where you would be. It has a little bit more risk to it, but big month, plus 29, almost 30K in April, up almost 75K on the year. Once again, it had a slow December when it was released, and then a down February, but huge March and April. And here is a drawdown curve like this setup. Let's look at the stock index portfolio 27. Big month. It's slowly improving through this year. I released this at the end of December and had a doozy of a January to start, and then a slow February. And it's hard to sometimes stay with stuff when you're an algorithmic trader, you're active trader. You expect results quicker sometimes, but you still have to take a little bit more of a longer term approach when you're trading these. And it's had a huge bounce back, plus 18K in March, another 35K in April, and you see the nice gains on the year, plus 47K on the year. For this portfolio setup, 27 stock index strategies, 200K portfolio, probably our top strategy if you have about 200K to trade with, 250K. It could be traded with 200K. Not all strategies trade at the same time. And you see just very consistent, just knocking out each month. Had a down December, as most portfolios and strategies did, which is just a really challenging post-election chop time period, end of year, and just real consistent across the board. 17, 18, 21, 10 in January, plus 68 on the year. And this is where we are in this portfolio, holding its worst case drawdown pretty strongly. And it's a good approach. You start on a drawdown and stay with that setup. 50K portfolio, good strategy for a 50K account at equity peaks. Finished. It's the one portfolio that finished on an equity peak. A lot of these strategies, a lot of these portfolios peaked at the end of last week, and then went through a little bit of a drawdown at the end of the month, at the end of this week. And so, good time to start is on a drawdown for a new month. And so, if you're showing a drawdown at the end of the month and you're starting a new month, that's one of my favorite setups for starting a portfolio of trading systems in a drawdown. This one's at an equity peak though, so I would wait to start it if you are. These drawdowns can happen fast. Sometimes 2 or 3 days they go into a drawdown, then boom, it can bounce back in 1 or 2 days. So you kind of have to already have it set up and running to take advantage of that sort of situation. Plus 15K on the year. Good return for a 50K portfolio, futures trading system day trade setup. Mostly day trade. Some of these are overnight. Micro stock index and micro gold portfolio base setup. Had a huge bounce back month in April, 52.4375. It ended the month on a drawdown, 16.2350 on a drawdown. So near a good place to get in. $2,000 is a good place to start this. You have a $2,300 risk to worst case drawdown. We endured a worst case drawdown with the additional volatility at the end of December. And then just a really slow start to the year. January was down, February was down, and then March it started to come back, and then April it really came back strong, and then plus 63, 77, 50. Slow start on the year as compared to the previous 3 years, but this strong month of April is a positive outlook. Gives us a positive outlook for this portfolio. And then we came with a conservative approach because this one did go through worst case drawdown, and it's at a 710.75 drawdown to end the month. And so this is a good place to start this portfolio as well. This includes the micro ES, micro NASDAQ, and micro gold strategies from the 200K portfolio. Just really consistent across the board, and so 42.36.75 on the year. Not as exciting as some of the other portfolios, but you know, it has less NASDAQ. That's the thing we were looking at, is how choppy the NASDAQ had become, and how that had created some additional drawdowns. And so less NASDAQ created more consistency, and that's where we are. Certainly a time to maybe take risk if you have the extra capital and risk tolerance to step back in to this sort of setup that has more NASDAQ strategy. If you want to assume more risk and more volatility in your account, you can certainly step it up to this. But you know, we went through this really a big time sideways period here, and so it is breaking out now, so we'll see how that continues. But those are the results, the latest portfolio calculator results. I'm going to show you where you can download this Excel spreadsheet. You can create your own portfolio. You can expand this, and you can come in here and you can delete all the formulas right here. You can just highlight each of these cells and delete them, and then go in here and add ones to the ones you want to add and see what the results would be. So let me show you where you can get this portfolio calculator, this Excel spreadsheet set up. Go to CapstoneTradingSystems.com. You click on this calculator, and by the time you see this video, it will be updated through April the 30th, 2021, and you can download it right here. It's Excel spreadsheet.